Hey everyone, today we're jumping into one of the most epic origin stories of all time, straight out of an ancient text. Seriously, this has all the makings of a blockbuster. We're talking despair, a miracle from out of nowhere, and of course, the birth of a hero who is destined to change everything. So you know how every great hero story has to start somewhere, right? Well, the backdrop for this one is a land totally without hope. And I'm not talking about just a few bad years here. This is a deep, generation-spanning crisis, a real struggle for survival. Yeah, 40 years. Just let that sink in for a second. For 40 years, the people of Israel were completely oppressed by the Philistines. I mean, that's practically a whole lifetime of hardship. Hope? It would have been a pretty rare commodity. That number, 40, it just hangs in the air, you know? It sets this incredibly bleak stage for what's coming next. And right in the middle of all this widespread suffering, the story zooms in, like a camera lens, on just one couple, a man named Manoah and his wife. So not only are they dealing with their entire nation being oppressed, but they're also carrying this really heavy personal burden. They can't have children. And in these ancient stories, that's a huge deal. It's like their own personal crisis perfectly mirrors the national one, a family with no future in a nation with no future. It's this combination of pain, both public and private, that really sets the stage. Okay, so just when things seem like they absolutely cannot get any worse, boom, the story takes this wild turn into the supernatural. This is it. This is the moment that's going to flip the script for this couple and for their entire nation. So get this, Manoah's wife is just out by herself, and completely out of the blue, a divine messenger appears. I mean, can you imagine? He shows up to her, a woman whose entire identity in that culture was tied to the fact that she couldn't have children, and he's got a message that sounds just completely impossible. And wow, what a message. Let's just break down this prophecy because it's a doozy. First, the impossible is about to happen. You're going to have a son. Second, this kid is going to be special, like dedicated to God right from the very beginning. Third, and this is a big one, there's a really specific rule. You can never cut his hair. And finally, the bombshell. He's the one who will kickstart the mission to save Israel from the Philistines. So yeah, this isn't just about having a baby. This is about the birth of a savior. Now, this whole dedicated to God thing, it has a name. It's called being a Nazirite. Think of it as a special vow, a lifelong commitment. For Samson, the rules are super clear. No wine or strong drink, stay away from anything considered unclean, and the one we all remember, never, ever let a razor touch his hair. This vow, it's not just a rule book. It becomes the very core of who he is, and, as we'll find out later, the source of his incredible power. So what do you do with news like that? I mean, really? The story now shifts over to the husband, Manoah, and his reaction is just so human. And it really shows us this fascinating dynamic between him and his wife. His wife basically runs to find him and tells him everything that just happened. And listen to how she describes the visitor. There's no hesitation, no doubt. She just says a man of God showed up and that he was very awesome. That's it. For her, it's a done deal. She is 100% on board. And this is where it gets really interesting, watching how differently they react. His wife, she's all in. Pure faith. She heard it, she believes it, end of story. Manoah, on the other hand, he's a little more practical. It's not that he doesn't believe her, but he needs more. He actually prays to God, asking for the messenger to come back and, teach us what to do. It's this perfect mix of faith and that very human need for just a little bit more confirmation. And guess what? His prayer gets answered. The angel does come back. But, and I find this part kind of funny, he appears to the wife again while she's alone. So she has to go run and grab her husband. Okay, so now the stage is set. Manoah's about to get the direct confirmation he was hoping for. All right, this next part, this is the real climax of the origin story. This is where all of Manoah's what-ifs and are-you-sures get answered. Not with more words, but with a straight-up jaw-dropping miracle. So even now, standing face-to-face with this being, Manoah still doesn't quite get it. He offers him dinner, basic hospitality, treating him like a really important person, but the angel kind of gently pushes back and says, hey, that offering, that's not for me. That's for the Lord. So Manoah tries a different tactic. He asks a pretty simple question. What's your name? And the angel's reply is just chilling. He basically says, why are you asking me my name? It's beyond understanding. Whoa. This is a huge clue. He's not just some guy. He is divine. And what happens next is the moment of truth. Manoah prepares the offering on this rock. Suddenly, a flame just erupts from the rock, blazing up towards the sky. And right there, in the flame, the angel of the Lord rises up and disappears. I mean, that's the proof, right? In that one insane, fiery moment, it finally clicks for Manoah. He wasn't just talking to a messenger. The reaction? They just fall on their faces. Pure, unfiltered awe. But for Manoah, that awe turns into absolute terror almost instantly. His first thought is, we're dead. We've seen God. He's tapping into that ancient fear that if you see a divine being, that's it for you. His logical, cautious brain just got completely short-circuited by fear. But then his wife, once again, is the voice of calm, clear-headed faith. I mean, check out her logic here. She tells her panicked husband, look, if the Lord wanted to kill us, why would he have accepted our offering? And more importantly, why would he have just told us all this amazing news? She's just brilliant. Throughout this whole ordeal, she is the absolute rock of faith and reason. So, with the doubts literally burned away and the promise confirmed in the most dramatic way possible, the story moves on to its happy conclusion. Just as the angel said, the woman gives birth to a baby boy, and they name him Samson. The promise that was delivered by a mysterious stranger has now become a real, breathing child. And the story gives us one last little piece of information. It tells us that as Samson grew up, the Lord blessed him. And then you get this line that the Spirit of the Lord started to stir in him. Ooh, goosebumps. The stage is set, the hero's origin story is complete, and his real journey is just about to begin. And that leaves us with a huge question, doesn't it? We've just seen a child born from a miracle, destined to be a savior. But what happens when that hero's divine, world-changing strength is trapped inside a person with some very, very human weaknesses? Well, that's where the story gets really complicated.